Will you? Hi, welcome to the Club 99 and a session with Inside IIM. Each one of you will be thinking how easy or difficult it is to crack the CAT exam, given that we have less than 5 months to go for this year's CAT 2022. In this probably about an hour session, we will take up lots of questions which have come on Inside IIM over the last 1 week. First and foremost, guys, CAT is not a very wild animal. First and foremost, you need to keep that in mind. And that means there has to be a way in which you can tame this. Even if it is a little bit wild, at least appears wild. What I am going to take care of it over the next 45 minutes to 1 hour is to answer every question that you might have. Questions like, hey, is it even possible to do it in 4.5 months? My DILR is bad. What do I even start? Where do I even start? My verbal ability seems completely in a mess. Where will I get my marks? Last year, I have written a CAT exam. I got only 93 percentile. Do you think I can get a 99 percentile? Or any such kind of questions which keep coming in. My friends, make sure that on the YouTube, keep giving these questions. And I have already, and in fact, I've just seen that some of you have asked these questions on the YouTube channel or on the Inside IIM channel much earlier than even we have to begin. So I'm going to start off with the first question that comes up. And of course, any questions that you have, please feel free. Absolutely feel free to ask these questions on YouTube. We'll pick it up, make sure that these questions are picked up, answered, and so that you have a smooth sailing for your CAT prep. The first one is, of course, how to, it's an interesting question, how to stay calm when your mock scores are not going well or they are very low scores. Now, even before I answer that question, friends, first, you need to realize something very simple. The CAT, the common admission test to the IIMs, is not testing knowledge. There are 66 questions if you consider CAT 21, 120 minutes. That means on an average, you have 2 minutes approximately per question. More time in verbal ability, less time in verbal ability, more time in a DILR. DILR, for example, there are 20 questions and 40 minutes. In a quantitative ability, there are 22 questions and 40 minutes. And the verbal ability, 24 questions and 40 minutes. Now, there is something very interesting. You need to realize that just because you have only 2 minutes to solve, do you think it is lots of people think that it is not possible to solve it. But if I go back a few years, forget a few years, let's look at CAT 2020 itself. There were 76 questions for the same 120 minutes. And the 99 percentile mark did not change much. Maybe 1 or 2 marks here and there. Maybe 3 marks or 1 question for that matter. 76 questions, 120 minutes. When the number of questions reduced to 66 also, people got almost the same mark. They will always get the same mark, plus or minus 3 or 6. That means plus or minus 1 question. And the reason is very obvious. The reason is that you have only 2 hours, whether there are 76 questions, 100 questions, or 150 questions. Of course, if the difficulty level changes, you will change the way in which you solve them. So today, tomorrow on CAT 2022, whether or not there are 66 questions, 76 questions, whether it's a 2-hour exam or a 3-hour exam, you realize that it's the same areas that come in: quant, verbal ability, and of course DILR. And let me assure you, on the very beginning, on the very first show of Inside IIM, 5 minutes to CAT that we're talking about, that it is very much possible, even at a 0 stage that you are in, or a very, very low score stage, that you can crack the exam with a systematic preparation. And we'll look at these, how we will go about doing it. Some of the questions which have come in, I've already, do I have sufficient time? My answer is a lot of time that you have right now, my friends. So do not worry about it. But I said something else also. How do you have to be consistent with your preparation. And that is another very important question which has come up on YouTube, saying that, hey, sir, how do I stay consistent in the preparation period? You need to have small goals. You cannot think of 4.5 months from today. You cannot think of a November 27th, which is most likely the exam. You cannot think about that. Hey, Bangalore is giving this exam. Do you think this exam will have something completely different from what happened last year, which was an IIM Calcutta exam? The answer of this question is, boss, it is a CAT exam. It doesn't matter who prepares it. It is the same set of faculty members, similar set of faculty members who prepare it. But to be consistent, you need to have smaller goals. The first goal that I will give you is, we are talking about 4.5 months. That's approximately 15 to 16 minimum Sundays before you go to the exam. Can you have a weekly goal of ensuring that whatever happens in that week, you will always take a mock CAT? You will always take a mock at the end of a Sunday. Ideally, I would say take this mock at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or 4 o'clock in the late afternoon. Why? Because that's exactly what the CAT guys will give you. So 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, these are the 3 normal slots which are there. So if you take up an exam in that time, or a 915, depending on what suits you, you are not only being consistent, there's a minimum consistency I'm talking about. You're not only going to be consistent, but you are working towards a goal. Now, that's the first consistency thing. The second consistency thing is, hey, I have spent 2 hours in writing the exam. If you have spent 2 hours writing the exam, it's a criminal offense not to spend at least 2 hours in revising the questions. You know what is the problem with a lot of us? We keep thinking that if I keep writing mocks, I will improve. You will not improve. How can you improve? You will only improve when, after writing the 2 hours, you pick up something very, very, your serious weakness that is there. Work on that for another week and then write another exam probably. If you can do that, I am saying, my friends, your consistency will come. Don't worry about the low scores. In fact, one of the questions which come in, sir, how do I feel? How do I keep myself motivated despite low scores? Because it all depends on how your mindset is. Listen to this very importantly, all of you. There are 2 ways in which you can think of a mindset and how you are progressing. One way of progressing is when you see that your marks are increasing every mock after mock. One other way of thinking, lots of people say, is that if your percentile improves, even if not, your marks. But both these are external to you. What is internal to you? What is consistent to you? That you are sitting on a Sunday and writing the 2-hour mock, and another 2 more hours after the exam is over, you are revising, analyzing and reanalyzing the questions that you have solved. I am making it so simple for you. If you can do this one single thing, my friends, I am telling you, you will be getting that 99 percentile without much of ado. Even if your mock scores are abysmal today, your quantitative skills suck, your verbal ability is in shambles, and DILR, you are clueless. Now you might be thinking, I am giving you the world and I'm trying to tell you that, look, anything and everything is possible. And look, is that even sensible to say? Take my word. It's not only sensible, it is absolutely perfectly right, that what I'm trying to say. I have seen people prepare for less than 2 months. I have a student who started preparing on, I remember exactly, September the 9th. Exactly September the 9th. Today we are talking about July the 9th, but just in case those of you are listening to me live, some of you will be not listening to live, but look at this YouTube later. The exam was on December 28th. September the 9th to December 28th, a non-math student, a law student who was afraid of mathematics, did not have a clue of DILR, had some idea about, of course, verbal ability, reading comprehension, because she was a law student and knew what she was reading, partially at least. But the orientation to CAT was still not there. One of the things, and this is one example I'm giving you, but there are hundreds of such examples. But this example is important. What she did was every third day, she took a mock. Every third day after the mock, she analyzed. And that's one the question which has come up on the YouTube also, how to analyze mocks. I'll come back to that. But listen to this carefully. Every third day she wrote the mock. Every third day, diligently, consistently, diligently, she revised all the questions that she could not solve in the mock. Initially, if there were 22 questions in the quantitative section, she got 3 marks. 3. That means 21 she could not solve. So what is the next best thing to do? Solve all the 21 one round. Then pick up one topic. Let's call it ratios and proportions. Next 2 days, look at all the material that you have, handouts that you have. If you are a career launcher student, if you're a time student, you are an IMS student, doesn't matter which student you are, they will give you handouts for each of the areas. Go through all the basics. Then attempt another mock. You will get again 3 marks, no problems. Once again, identify one more topic. Maybe it could be geometry. That too within geometry only on triangles. I'm just giving you random ideas, but if you make it into a structure, you will make it better. We'll talk about structure as we go along. The key thing is, every 2-3 days, your basic concepts are becoming better and you are consistently writing the mock. And after writing a mock, if there are 20 questions that you can't solve, 15 questions you can't solve, whatever number you cannot solve or you could not solve in the exam, either you solve it outside the exam or you look at the solution. Once you see the solution, you will see that you will understand, because please understand, these are all 8th, 9th and 10th class mathematics, nothing great about it. Same thing with DILR. There are 20 questions, 4 sets given to you. Maybe you couldn't have solved a single set in the 40 minutes that you sat. No problems. But then you go back. I told you, analyze the paper, solve the questions, try to solve the questions. You can't solve it again. See the solution. Then let's say an area like set theory comes in. What do you do in the next 3 days? Solve every day 2 to 3 sets of set theory alone for the next 3 days. And then write the next mock. Maybe next mock does not have a set theory question, no problems. Do it every week like this. Now I'm talking about 15 weeks. Forget about that girl who has started from September 9th. We have 2 full more months, 8 more extra weeks that we have. You can, and by the way, she went to IIM Lucknow. She got a 98 point something, because she's a lawyer, she got it. 98 point something is very, very good. 99 is easily possible if you plan this way. Now, there are questions which are coming up again. Should I use mocks even for basics or first basics and then mocks? A student is asking this question. See, there is nothing like basics and then mocks. There is nothing like a syllabus and then mocks. Mocks also have all levels of difficulty. Don't believe anybody telling you that this is not a CAT level question. A CAT level question also has easy level questions, easy, straightforward, formula based questions if required be. Medium level questions, not a direct, but a little bit of an effort that you make and you will be able to solve them. And they will also have difficult questions or lengthy questions, which ideally should not even be solved in an exam like CAT. So there is nothing like a CAT question, even very easy questions. Some of the questions that have come in the last 5 years of CAT, you will be figuring out that even a 6th class, 7th class student can solve in quant. A data interpretation, there would be sets. In fact, last year itself, there was one full set of 4 questions. All that you had to do was see the questions, see the set, Give it 8 minutes. You would have got 12 marks. 4 threes are 12 marks. You'll be surprised. So the key thing that we are coming out is that, hey, let me reiterate. It's 15 minutes into the game. Let me reiterate certain things that I have already said. It's like a recap. The first one, 4.5 months to go, 16, 17 weeks to go, more than sufficient for you to crack this exam called CAT. Point 1. Point 2, to make sure that you do that, you need consistency. Consistency will come to you if you write every week at least 1 mock. You can write more than 1 mock. There are hundreds of examples who have made it despite being absolutely bad at the beginning of their preparation. I remember, in fact, I was talking to a student a few days back itself of last year, whose starting marks were an abysmal something like 28, 29, 30. I also started equally badly when I started my CAT preparation. I still made it to IIM Calcutta, and people can make it even today. And the fourth is, how do I analyze the mocks? How do I analyze the mock? Again, there is no one right way or the wrong way. Now, here is, for the next 2 minutes, how to analyze mocks broadly, I will tell you. First, after finishing the 2-hour paper, go back and check what are the rights and wrongs. Now, without any time limit, without giving yourself any time limit, try to first solve all the questions which you have got wrong. Why am I saying this first? Because in the exam, in the mock, when you were attempting, you attempted it for some reason and you got it wrong. So, and there could be pressure of time. It could be a silly mistake. It could be something or the other. Pick up that question and solve it first. If you are able to solve it, that shows that it is not a knowledge problem, but it was a heat of the moment problem, the pressure of the time problem, or whatever that is, that you could not solve it. That is the first part. So all the questions that you made mistakes in, it could be RC, it could be verbal ability, it could be DILR, it could be quant. First part of your analysis is to solve the questions which you got them wrong. That's point 1. Second, all the questions that you did not attempt. Now, again, without giving any time limit to it, start with reading comprehension, for example. If that, let's say you have missed out a full passage, give it 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 7 minutes, 30 minutes, doesn't matter, but read the question, read the passage and solve the questions one by one. Similarly for DILR, let's say there are 3 sets that you do not solve. Give it all the time that you can to solve this. Very, very important that you solve this without seeing the solution first time. Similarly, for all the questions that you did not attempt in the mock, go ahead and try to solve them. Now you might come back and say, hey sir, I did not attempt in the exam because this was in an area called permutations and combinations and I don't know permutation and combinations. So what do I do then? Or it could be as area and set theory in DI and I don't know, or LR, I don't know how to solve them. Possible. No problems, no problems. You try to solve them. That's the first thing to understand. You try to solve them. But after solving them, let's say you couldn't solve them, then go back and look. So the first point I told you about all the mistakes. Second point of all the questions which you have not solved, you are trying to solve them. From these, let's say there are enough questions that you could solve. Let's say there are enough questions that you could solve, which means that is your ability. That's your potential score that you could have improved. It's a different issue that in the exam you didn't find them. No problems. So that's another part of it. And the third part of the analysis, this is the second part. The third part of the analysis, all the questions after making mistakes, you still couldn't solve, or after attempting the ones which you did not solve and you could still not solve, go back and see the solutions. This is the 3 parts of it. And the fourth part of it, see the solutions without fail. Give it half an hour. You may not understand it. You may understand it. Ideally, if you have more time, After seeing the solution, close the solution, especially if it is DILR and quantitative ability. Close the solution and try to solve the question again. You know, friends, you might be thinking it's such a difficult thing to do. I'm saying give yourself that one day when you're writing a mock, only to the mock and the analysis and nothing else. This is sacrosanct. If you really want a 99.99 percentile also, like somebody is asking, I want you to do this. That's it. Or a 99 or a 90, depending on where you are. The fourth point, after this, if you then after all these things are over, then look at which are the topics in each of the areas. For example, in verbal ability, there could be para jumbles you are able to solve or not solve, para summary you are able to solve or not solve, or odd para summary, odd para jumbles or odd sentences that you are able to solve or not solve. Similarly, in reading comprehension, there will be areas where if it is a generalized passage, let's say on sports or business or science, you are able to solve. But if it's on philosophy, or psychology, or sociology, or humanities, something else in humanities, you're not able to solve. No problems. You make note of this. Similarly, in DILR, you're able to solve a data set which has, bar charts, but you're not able to solve a data set which has, too much of logical reasoning in that. No problems. Understandable. Make a note of it. Third, similarly in quant, in areas in arithmetic, algebra, geometry, numbers, or whatever else, pick out where is your strength areas, where you are able to solve and where you are not able to solve. This is the 5-part analysis. Recap. Analysis. How to analyze. This is the most important question that somebody has asked. How to analyze mocks. And if you can't analyze this mocks, I'm saying there will be no improvement. This is the kind of analysis. Of course, we'll tell you after analysis what you should do. First, all the mistakes that you've got, try to resolve them. Try to resolve them. If you can't solve it, that's okay. Second, all the questions that you did not attempt in the exam, solve them again. Try to solve them again. If you don't solve, no problems. Third, all the questions that you could not solve even the second time, the mistakes and the ones which you have not attempted, make sure that you see the solutions to this one by one, each one of them. And the fourth part, after solving, especially DILR, after seeing the solution, close the solution and try to resolve the question again. If you don't get it, no problems, don't worry, but at least try. The fifth point is after this, make a note of all that you feel from the plan, what you are comfortable with, that is a strength, and what are you not comfortable with, what is your weakness. This is a 5-point game, the 5-point game that you need to do. Once you do this 5, from what you have done in the point 5, that is the step 5, I call them, that step 5 should be used to plan the next 3 days, next 5 days, next 6 days. So all those areas which you are not good at or weak areas, use the next 6 days, go back to the fundamental books, the funda books if it is a career launcher student, or a basic books that you're talking about, time students or whatever else for IMS or any other institute. You pick up one topic in each of these areas or one area in each of these sections, and use the fundamental books, the funda books as I can probably call it, to go through and solve them again. Go through and solve them again for the next 5 days before you hit the next mock cat. Once you hit the next mock cat, you will have to go through this process once again. There is one other thing which is important, which we will take up in another session. Probably the next session that I will take up will be the how to approach the paper itself, the 40 minutes in each of these 3 sections. How do you even attempt the paper? That itself is a strategy. It's a very important strategy. It's not that you can attempt anything else. It's important that, okay, Rohit Sharma starts Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli are the openers rather than probably a Ravindra Jadeja or a Rishabh Pant. Maybe Rishabh Pant can also be one. But again, I'm saying there is a strategy on who opens the innings if it's in cricket. Similar is the case even if it's in CAT or any other exam. We will talk about other exams later. So this is what you need to, I hope you understand this completely, how to analyze the mock. The first part of my first 15 minutes was on that you can solve it. The second 15 minutes was on how to analyze the mocks. Now I'm going to pick up somebody who said, sir, not able to do good in RC. Sir, please help. Let me help you. And I'll help you in all the areas, not just in VARC or DILR or for that matter, quantitative ability, but also mentally making yourself stronger, to crack this kind of an exam. So we'll talk about that also. By the way, in the meantime, any other questions that you have, please keep asking so that we will put together all of these also, if possible, as YouTube sessions, short 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can join me in my Quora also. I have a Quora. You search for ARKS Srinivas, you will get there also, or on Inside IIM. You can go ahead and ask these questions. We will put together and make sure that we come back and do it. One other thing that I'm going to tell you is, with Inside IIM, I have a very, very long history with Inside IIM. That's why I keep coming back onto this platform. The owner and the person who started is Ankit Doshi. Amazing guy. I am Indore graduate, done fantastically well over the last so many years, close to a decade now. And what we are trying to do is give you a kind of a mentorship, mentorship to each one of you who joins this club 99 percentiles that we're talking about. You may not be a 99 percentiler today itself, but you will be one. And what we plan to do is to help you reach absolutely your dream school. Not that it is difficult, but the systematic approach that we're talking about, we will give you. And on this platform, take my word, not only ARKS is there, I am going to be your key mentor, but along with me, there are going to be many students who have cracked this exam the last yesteryears. In the yesteryears, I'm talking about, including CAT 2022, 2021, 2019 and all, who will be there in your journey to take care of your, niggling issues where, you need a little bit of a twist, little bit of a change to make your scores. I'll give you an example here. Sunil Gavaskar the other day was telling about what is ailing Mr. Virat Kohli. Why is Virat Kohli not doing well in the last 1 year? And Sunil Gavaskar is a guy who is not just a commentator, who understands as a coach what probably ails students or batsmen. And he was telling probably Virat Kohli was getting into the shot a wee bit too early. And there he said, if he can just take that extra chance, extra second, he probably will get more scores. Exactly like that. You guys are not bad. None of you are bad. You have done your 10th standard. Each one of you can get it. What we are trying to help you with Inside IIM is trying to help you. I am going to be only a journey. It will be your co-journey, a person with a coach, being a journey mate, sorry, if I can call that, to make sure that each one of your problems can be addressed in a nice way. For example, there is a 99 percentilers club where I will be there giving you sessions on various areas, various sections, various strategies of how to approach them properly, getting into the depths of each of the areas also. Similarly, there is also one session that we are trying to be, wherein I will be a personal mentor for you, where I'll spend time with you on looking at your scores, marks, and helping you. Hey boss, where are you making mistakes? How are you making these mistakes, and how can you overcome those mistakes? This is something which we have done. Let's get back to the more questions. Thank you so much for showcasing this on the screen to all of you. I hope you have seen that. Do join them as soon as possible if you want to, because we have 4.5 months. Well, I'm saying, wait, there is a lot of time. Yet the earlier you start, the advantage will always be there. Now, let's come back to a couple of all the three sections that are important. So over the next 30 minutes, 29 minutes to be precise, I'm going to pick up the approach to VARC, approach to DILR, and an approach to quantitative section. I'm going to start with the VARC section. We have, first, you need to understand something very, very simple and fundamental. What is a 99 percentile in VARC? What is a 99 percentile in VARC? It changes, obviously, because of the level of difficulty. If the level of difficulty is easy, the cutoff, the 99 percentile can go as high as a 45 marks out of the 72 marks. Remember, there are 24 questions. 24 into 3 is 72. Out of the 72 marks, the 99 percentile could go as high as 45 marks, or it could go as low as 36 marks. If I were to give you a range to aim for, if there is a range to aim for, it will be between 36 marks to 45 marks. Now, the first approach for a verbal ability RC section is that if there are 24 questions, you should ideally attempt all 24 on 24. Now, that's easier said than done. It's easier said than done because if there are 3 passages or 4 passages in the paper and another 8 questions of para jumbles, para summary, and odd para jumbles, how do you divide your 40 minutes? Oh, here is the first thing as far as the approach. There are 2 parts of the approach I'm going to give you. One is the exam approach broadly, and then we go into improving scores. The broad approach for improving will be, hey, I can give about 27, 28 minutes for my reading comprehension, which will have 3 RCs, and 10 to 12 minutes, 28 to 30 minutes for reading comprehension, 27 to 30 ideally, and 10 to 13 minutes, depending on what I give for RC, to the verbal ability section. That's the broad idea. Now, whether you can solve all the questions or not depends on how bad or how good you are. Now, today, we have approximately 140 days plus, 145 days. July 9th, right? So 21, 22 days plus another 30, 30, 30, 90 plus 21, 111 plus 27, 137, 138 days, close to 140 days. Let's take only 120 days from today. Rest of it, something or the other will go away. Or take only 100 days out of the entire 4.5 months that are available for us. I am taking 100 days. In these 100 days, one key improvement that you need to do, forget about scores, forget about the scores in the mocks, forget about writing RC sectional tests, forget about writing RC tests. One very, very fundamental improvement that I want each one of you to do at whatever level. Somebody said, I am getting 99 percentile. How do I get a 99.9 percentile? Whether it is for him or a person who's getting a 30 percentile who wants a 99 percentile. For both these people, boys or girls, I want you to do this. And that is a 30-minute reading plan every day. A 30-minute, 30-minute reading from a newspaper editorial, a website. Newspaper could be a Hindu, the Indian Express, the Times of India, the Telegraph, the Statesman, the Deccan Chronicle, the Deccan Herald. I don't care, whatever it is. Please pick one. Or it could be the Business Standard or the Economic Times or the Live Mint or a Hindu business line. I am basically giving you that, boss, whatever comes your way, pick it up. So it could be an editorial. It could be more than one editorial, that is. Or it could be from any of the websites that are available. One of the websites that I recommend, it's a long website. All the articles are long in that, is aeon, aeon.co, aeon.co/essays. If you go to that, you pick up a topic, let's say philosophy or a psychology or business or anything else. Pick up one topic. So one is the editorials of newspapers or anything in the newspapers, maybe for 10, 12, 15 minutes. But the other 10, 15 minutes, I want you to read one article or two articles from this essays portal. It could be other portals also. There are multiple portals, guys. But I'm saying pick one portal rather than thinking of 100 portals. Don't worry about that. Pick one portal and read approximately for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. The objective of reading is twofold. The first objective is to improve your reading speed. So every time you're reading, you may not want to do it faster, but you will see that over the next 100 days, your reading speeds will slowly and steadily go up. There is a reason for that. And the reason for that is you are going to read and read and read. That means the words that you're reading will get familiar with more and more and more. If you're reading philosophy subjects or a topic, and the next 10 days, let's say you start today, and the next 10 days, you read only philosophy. First day, you will not understand anything. For 15 minutes, you read one article of 3,000 words, and you will see, shit, yaar, kuch bhi samajh mein nahi aaya mujhe. No problems. Second day, read another article on philosophy. Third day, read another article on philosophy. Fourth day, again read it. Fifth day, sixth day, seventh day, eighth day, ninth day, 10th day. On the 10th day, I am guaranteeing you that you will start not only understanding, but you will also understand it faster. The comprehension will be faster. Once you get some hang of philosophy, go to psychology, go to sociology, go to history, go to geography, go to science, go to business, go to something else. You have 140 days to go. Take 5 days a week or 10 days every day, 30 minutes. This is like you're brushing your teeth every day early in the morning. Having your morning cup of chai, coffee, or Bonvita or a milk or whatever else that you have in the morning. Instead of spending 30 minutes on your WhatsApp, sending messages to all and sundry or your boyfriends and girlfriends, here is what I want you to do. 30 minutes of reading sometime during the 24 hours. Don't consider that it is cat training. Do this. Every one of you, whatever 99.99 percentile you are already getting, you will still get 100 percentile in that section. Because what I am expecting you to do is there is a slow but an incremental improvement every day. In addition to that, from whatever you read on that day, there will always be words. There will always be words, vocabulary, words which you will not understand how it has been used. Go back, check a dictionary or vocabulary.com or wherever, dictionary.com or wherever. Make sure that you read the meaning of it. Go back to the passage where you have, or a sentence where you have read that word. Go back to the sentence where you have read that word. And then you will make some sense of it. Then some sense of it, you will make it. Don't worry about it. You will do it. My friends, do this for 100 days. Remember, every week you're writing a mock. That's what I said, consistency. And this is the second level of consistency that you need. If you can get this and the approach that I've told you in the exam and consistently do that, about 27 to 30 minutes for your verbal ability, for your reading comprehension in the CAT exam, CAT market, and 10 to 13 minutes for your verbal ability. Don't worry about getting mistakes. Don't worry about but try attempting 24 questions. You know what? You may start with getting something like 8 correct and 16 wrong. 8 correct and 16 wrong. That's what you might get. But in the next 16 weeks, if it can change to 16 correct and 8 wrong, if you can change this from 16 correct to 8 correct, 16 wrong to 16 correct and 8 wrong, And you will not do it in a very, it is like going to a gym. Every day you go and try to improve your biceps and triceps, nothing will happen. But if you do it every day consistently for 3 months, you will be surprised that your hand, your biceps will become stronger. And it could be for everything else. You play the same game 100 days. It could be swimming, it could be badminton, it could be cricket, it could be volleyball, it could be basketball, it could be anything for that matter. And it could be verbal ability too, reading comprehension too. Your improvement is 100% certain, not just 99.9%. I'm saying 100% certain. And that is the beauty of it. Now, it is nothing great about me. There are techniques to improve. Obviously, when you go to a coach, you will get the technique to improve. That's the reason why you come to us. But first, it is the fundamental that is important to be done. The fundamental that is important. And that is what I want you to do. The second thing is the DILR section. When you talk about the DILR section, people are afraid of it. People ask this question. Sir, how do I select a set? Why do you want to select a set? Why can't you select or do all 4 sets? Select all 4 sets. You might say, are you out of your mind? Bloody, I can't even do 1 set. You are a joker telling me that I can do all sets or select all 4 sets. Are you out of your mind, ARKS? You can ask me this question. Of course, you can ask me. There's no doubt about it that you can ask me this question. And I have my answer for that too. And I have a very strong answer for that too. Yes, my friend, I am not the joker. You are the joker. Because anybody who tells me that you have to select sets, they don't understand. What do you mean by selecting sets? You have goddamn 140 days to go. Are 140 days not enough to go through all the sets that you can do? And then in the exam hall, you look at all the 4 sets. Within each of the 4 sets, there will be easy questions. One of the fundamental things about CAT, is that within a set, even an easy set, there could be one question which is lengthy. You should not solve it. And within a very difficult set, so to say difficult, when I'm saying difficult ka matlab, difficult ka meaning, what I mean is that it is lengthy to solve. It can be solved. Anything can be solved in the exam. There is no question. There is absolutely no question that there will be question which cannot be solved. We are not talking about the 100 most difficult questions which have never been solved in the world and they are going to give you in the CAT exam. No, they don't want to give that. They want managers. The IIMs want managers. And who is a manager? A manager is a person who looks at the resources that are available, looks at the timeline that is available, and matches the resources to ensure that the timelines are met. So coming back to what I'm saying in DILR, you don't have to select sets. You need to see all 4 sets. And I'm reiterating this. This is my formula if you want, if you wish. I want you to see all 4 sets. We'll talk about that, how to do that. And that is the preparation part. In my strategy session, I will tell you how to use the 4 sets, how to see the 4 sets, how to pick the easy questions, how to leave the difficult questions. That will come back to that in a second session. But today's session is another thing that I'm going to tell you is, hey, how do I prepare for the next 140 days? How do I approach for the preparation? There are 2 fundamental building blocks as far as DI/LR are concerned. For the data interpretation, the one building block that is important is your speed calculation. There is an online calculator available. I understand that. And a lot of people will come back and say, Kya bakwas hai? Online calculator, why will I not use it? I would rather use that. No, you are not supposed to use it. You are not supposed to use it. I'll tell you why. Because if you go to an online calculator and waste a lot of time, you will waste a lot of time. It's not very conducive half the time. Instead, if you start preparing, if you start preparing or improving 10 minutes per day, consistency, I told you, 10 minutes per day, if you can do basic speed math, addition, subtractions, fractions, and percentage conversions, 10 minutes a day. Okay, not even every day, every second day you do it. Can you do that? I mean, anybody can do that. 10 minutes. All I am expecting is in that 10, when the 10 minutes starts, nothing else you will see, only that addition, subtraction. Because what you are trying to do is getting into the rhythm of solving. And when you do that, my friends, you will be surprised that when the question comes in. Now, what is the problem in a DI? There are two steps in solving DI sets. We'll talk about solving. There are two steps. The step one is understanding the data, interpreting the data. So interpret the data and interpret the question given to you, because you need to understand what the hell is being asked. That is a part one, and that's a very important part that requires a preparation. The second part is calculation. Calculation has to be done very, very fast, and calculation can be done very fast if your speed math is good. Now, to approach this, you need to figure out what has come in the CAT exam for the last 5-7 years. If you look at the data interpretation area, tables have come, of course. Missing numbers in tables have come. Bar charts have come. Line graphs have come. A combination of bar charts and line graphs have come. Spider graphs have come. Scatter diagram has come. Scatter plots have come. Some others which have not come in. Pie chart has not really come in the last 5 years for some reason or the other, but it's also important. So now I have 140 days to go. 140 days, I'm talking about 7-8 types of questions that you're talking about, right? 7-8 types of questions you're talking about. Can you pick up one type of question? It could be, let's say, a table, and prepare or solve every day one or two sets of tables for the next, let's say, 15 days. Let's say 15 days. Every alternate day. Don't even do every day. Every alternate day. Okay, I will not even call 15 days. Let's call only 10 days from today. 10 days. 5 days you will do DI. 5 days into 2 sets of tables. That's 10 sets of tables. Where will you do it from? From the handouts that you probably have, or from the original CAT papers that you have, or the yesteryear CAT papers that you have. Tables only, you pick it up. Get comfortable with the way the table is given and the way you can solve. The questions are given. Remember, you're also doing 10 minutes of speed maths every day. You will be able to solve. You will be able to solve them. Maybe not in the same given time that you will need in the exam, but you will be good in it. Then after 10 days, do bar charts. Again 10 days. Then again you do 10 days spider graphs. If there are not enough spider graphs, use some spider graphs and some scatter plots. Then do 10 days pie charts. Then do 10 days line graphs. Then do 10 days a combination of the graphs. Another 10 days. Now I'm talking about 60-70 days. But in each of these 10 days, you are doing 2 sets or 10 sets. That means in the next 70 days, you will do 70 sets, or 80 days, 80 sets, 100 days, 100 sets of various types of questions in DI. You will not spend more than 30 minutes per set. In the meantime, remember, every Sunday, you're also doing your mock CATs and analysis, etc. kind of things. You know, there is a slow improvement there also, it's happening. And here you're doing in a very concerted manner. Very concerted manner. Think of yourself. 100 days from today, your DI, if you see the passage, if you see the set in an exam, you will know whether you can solve it or not. And you will also know whether you can solve it faster or not, because of your calculations also improving. 100 days, or about 13-14 weeks from today, 13-14 weeks from today, you will be in a position to probably solve anything. And there's nothing like selecting a set, therefore. Remember, I said in the very beginning, there's nothing like selecting a set. You are doing all questions, all sets. Within the set, you will select the 2-3 questions out of the 4, or 2-3-4 questions out of the 6, which come in the exam. You will start getting the marks. Similar to what I said for verbal ability, the 99 percentile for DILR could be anywhere between 30 to 33 marks out of the 60 marks. 30 to 33 marks out of 60 marks. That's about 10 to 11 questions. DI alone will give you all the marks if you want. Now, do exactly the same for LR. While I will not go into the depths of LR, but it's exactly the same for LR, because we have another 9 minutes to go for this session, and I hope you are really enjoying it. By the way, if you do enjoy this session on Inside IIM, do click on like, probably share it with all your friends who are writing CAT 2022 also. But having said that, you can also write to me on these particular questions on my Quora, ARKS Srinivas. I have a specific, my own Quora. You can follow me also on that. Coming back to this, the last one, and my colleague and friend here in Inside IIM will also tell you what exactly we are trying to do. We will talk about joining us for a very, very specific Club 99 percentilers, this thing also, but I'll come back to that in the next 7 minutes from now. But the third area is the quantitative ability area, especially if you are a non-math student, if you're afraid of, actually engineers are also pathetic about it. That's the worst thing about it. But anyway, let's say you're a non-math student or a student who is worried about maths, who don't like mathematics. Don't worry about it. 22 questions, 66 marks. Guess what is the 99 percentile? If it's a very easy paper, it will not be more than 36. If it's a very, not 36, 66, 33. So if it's a very difficult paper, it will be something around 27 marks will be your 99 percentile. If it's a very easy paper, it will be 39 to 42 marks. So 27 to 42 marks, that will be your 99 percentile. It's a lot of percentile, very difficult to very easy. Even if it is very easy, it will not be beyond 42 marks. 42 is 13 questions. Sorry, 14 questions. 14 questions into 3 marks is 42. On an average, if you get something like 11 correct, that is 33 marks, you will probably get a 99 percentile. Now, 14, let's look at 14. I mean, somebody wants to get 99.99, you can get more than that. But let me stick to a easy paper that you need to still get 14. You are talking about 140 days still to go. Remember this. 14 questions. Where do they come from? 9 to 10 questions come from arithmetic. So my approach to quantitative ability would be, do your math, your arithmetic first. Over the next 100 days are there, or the next 100 days, focus on arithmetic for 40 days. 30 days, if you can do it faster, if you have already started preparing, but at least 40 days for arithmetic. Worry not about algebra, geometry, numbers, permutations, etc. bullshit. Forget about it right now. Don't worry about it. Arithmetic you pick up. 40 days. Focus fully on arithmetic. Now, remember, I have not forgotten my first 15 minutes. If you are coming to this YouTube part of the session or this session, this part of it, you don't please forget the first 15 minutes that I told you what you should do to be consistent. If you're not, you will see that every time you work on arithmetic topic by topic, your scores in the mocks will be slowly and steadily, trickle by trickle, but trickle all the same, will start improving 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, maybe 18. May not got more than 18. 18 is only 6 questions, mind you. The arithmetic area will have 9 questions to 10 questions in the CAT exam. So when you're writing the mocks, by the 40th day, that's 6 weeks from now, you will start getting 18 marks. You will not still get 18, maybe 15 only. No worries. But you are also improving slowly and steadily. There is a confidence building there. Then the next 30 days, do algebra. What to do in algebra? Again, I'm going to look at in the next session in Club 99 percentiles. But for the moment, let me tell you, you need to do this. 30 days algebra. Revise algebra. Indices, logs, surds, your quadratic equations, progressions, inequalities, functions, APGP, whatever. 30 days, slowly and steadily, 8 questions approximately will be from algebra. There, you will start with 0 today. After 40 days also in algebra, you are 0 still. But another 30 days later, you might get 3 more questions extra or 9 more marks. I'm not even still saying out of 8, you will get all 8. No, you will get only 3 or 4. No problems. But 6 questions here, 3 questions there, 9 questions, 27 marks. Then another 15 days, you work on numbers. Another 15 days, you work on geometry mensuration. 30 more days, 40 plus 30 plus 30, 100 days. 100 days from today is what? July 9th, August 9th, September 9th, October 9th, October 20th. Close to Diwali. Diwali is this time on 25th of October. Let me tell you, I think 25th of October, and that's my birthday, by the way. Those of you who listen to me, you can always wish me birthday that day, if you remember that, of course. But I'm telling you this, by the 25th of October, you will be in a position, one more, something like 11, 12 questions you will be able to solve. And get those marks of 30, 33. That's 99 percentile. But you still have another 30 to 33 days. We'll talk about that then also. Another 30 days to not only get this 11, 12, but make it to 16, 17. 16, 17 questions will make it 48, 49. Those of you are talking about 99.99 percentile. Brace yourself to want to get 100 percentile also. Friends, I'll come back to what I started off today. 4:57 right now. 1 hour session for this YouTube. Special thing done by Inside IIM. Every year I do this almost as a master class. But I believe that each one of you who's listening to this exam called CAT, it's a very, very easy exam. Provided you have to be consistent. You have to be committed to yourself. And what I will help you is to get your confidence up. I call it the 3 C's to cracking CAT. Consistency, commitment to yourself, and confidence, which I will bring to you as we go along. And to make sure that this journey of yours is very, very fruitful, let me also tell you that Inside IIM, we do that in, I used to do that in Career Launcher, Mr. GP, Jijo, all of them do that. And I do it in Inside IIM also right now as a mentor to you. Join us for this Club 99 Percentile. Join us for this 99 Percentilers Club. This club, get mentored by various CAT trainers to ace your MBA, and I'll be your key trainer. There are 2 things. There are group learning, where you can work upon each other to improve your skills. And there's a one-on-one learning also, where you will find me helping you on an individual basis too. If you can sign up, various things on sectional strategies, preparation plans, group sessions wherein you will know that motivation. You know what? To crack an exam, you need that kind of a motivation to really, really do well. Not just the material. The material is available everywhere. There are a lot of material free available everywhere. Sessions like this are available free everywhere. But somebody to handhold you sometimes, somebody to tell you, somebody's shoulder to cry on when you need it, but more importantly, to egg you on to make sure that you crack this exam. And it's worth getting to an IIM. There is someday, one session, I'm going to take you why and how it is really, really worth to join an IIM. Not just IIM, an XLRI, an FMS, SPJ IMR, absolutely everything of the sort. And you can do that. Otherwise, there will be sessions that a lot of trainers conduct various places. Please do join them. And if you want to be in touch with me, you can always mail me too, or find me on Quora or Inside IIM or on Career Launcher's website, wherever it is. Reach out to this. There is no harm in getting help to crack this exam. With that, and thank you so much for joining me today for this session, my friends. And again, huge thanks to the Inside IIM team to following up with me to make sure that this masterclass is done and you students, every one of you, get the benefit of it. With that, thank you so much. Wish you all the very best. See you again very soon. Thanks.